my turn.
Come.
You go, Hurt.
Your turn now. Oh, look at me. Diablo, what is wrong with
Carlos.
you?
There you go, Carlos. Bring this way. Bring this way.
Come, Diablo. Almost. Your turn. Good try, horse. Look at this. I will show you, horse, how it's done. Come here, Diablo. They're probably taking you back. Now. Oh, good try, horse. Very good. Come.
He's a magnificent animal, Margaret. I'm surprised you want to part with him.
You won't be when you see the new Hereford bull I bought. I'm getting rid of the rest of his line, too. No more stringy Mexican cattle.
You might want to keep a few, in case your new herd doesn't work out. Carlos tells me that Longhorns are more resistant to heat and to disease.
Maybe. But they're so lean, taking them to market's hardly worth the bother. Not to mention they're more difficult to handle. Nope. I'll take nice fat beef cattle. I don't think they're going to catch him.
I think you're right. All right, boys, that's enough. Come on in.
That's one stubborn bull, Paul.
Perhaps Diablo does not want to leave his rightful home.
It's not his home anymore. And I think it's about time you got it through your head that my husband and I bought this ranch.
And how can I forget when you're trying to sell off bloodlines it took my father years to create?
Sometimes you have to get rid of the old blood to make room for the new.
Margaret.
Huh. Only when the new blood is an improvement.
Carlos.
I doubt the Indians thought having their land taken away and being forced to become papists was much of an improvement either.
Oh, please. The Indians became Catholics because they wanted to.
Forget it, Ben. That bull's no longer for sale.
Don't worry, Ben.
Probably another vaquero looking for work. Jorge, you tell him we're all full up with Mexicans today.
Isabella, is it really you or does my heart deceive me?
It is really me, Carlos. I'm home, last. Please, forgive our manners.
I'm Ben Cartwright. This is my son, Hoss, Jorge, Margaret Green, and her daughter, Tess.
Carlos.
Oh, I am sorry. I would like you all to meet my beautiful and beloved sister, Isabella Maria Rivera de Vega, my only sister, who until this very moment I believed to be dead. What joy to see you alive, little sister.
You must be thirsty.
Tess, will you fetch us some water, please?
Yes, Ma.
Isabella, little sister. To see you here. It's un milagro. It is a miracle.
After all that has happened, I can scarcely believe it myself.
When the war began, I took Isabella to live with her father's brother and his family. I thought she would be safe under her uncle's roof. Even when I was wounded, I took solace in the fact that she had his protection. But when the war ended and I recovered, I went back to her uncle's hacienda, only to find it had been burned down to the ground. What of Tio Luis and Tia Teresa and Juan, little Rosita?
No one else survived the fire, Carlos. It is only us now.
You must be hungry, too. If you rode all the way from Mexico.
It is true. I'm very hungry. My brother and I have much to talk about. So, if you'll all please excuse us.
Isabella, this is no longer a rancho.
What do you say?
Our hacienda was sold to this lady and her husband as war reparation.
But this cannot be. There was a treaty.
Yes. It guaranteed that all Mexicans could keep land owned before the war, as long as they claimed it within a year. But I was in Guadalajara recovering from my injuries. I did not return in time, little sister.
Where will we live now?
You'll stay with us.
That's right. On the Ponderosa.
La Ponderosa?
Well, that's what we named our ranch. You'll like it there. Darn near as pretty as this one.
Well, that's settled.
Well, we'll be on our way.
Mi caballo. My horse.
I'll take care of him for you tonight and bring him by tomorrow.
Muchas gracias.
Let's go.
She's lost her home.
And your pa lost his life. Don't you understand, Tess? Your pa was killed fighting a war against those people.
And I guess it's a good thing they lost. Otherwise, I'd be the one with no family left running back to a home that wasn't mine anymore.
Where's Isabella gonna sleep, Pa?
Well, she can have my room, and I'll sleep out here by the fire until we can arrange something else.
You're very kind, Senor Cartwright.
When was the last time you ate, little sister?
Believe me. 3, perhaps 4 days ago.
3 or 4 days.
The peasants who took me in had barely enough food to feed even themselves.
How did you survive?
By begging from people in towns along the way. But sometimes there were no towns.
You were at the bake-up baking?
Would you have preferred I starve, Carlos?
Of course not, little sister. It is just that
That what?
I have failed you.
No, Carlos. It's I who failed you.
How can you say that, little sister?
Well, I suspect you'd like a bath.
Oh, yes. Please, I would indeed.
Hoss, Adam, heat up some water and put the tub in Isabella's room, would you please?
Pa, she can't take a bath and get back in those dirty clothes.
Of course. Hop Sing, would you please wash them for Isabella?
most improper for a man to wash ladies' clothes.
Pa, what about Ma's dresses?
Now, why didn't I think of that?
Your mother must have been a kind woman.
How can you tell?
Her dresses are colors soft, yet radiant.
It is true. I knew her only briefly, but she was good and pure.
There's one more.
That's your mother's wedding dress.
No. I cannot take it.
Why not? You get married someday. And ladies always wear white when they do that.
I think we should give Isabella some privacy.
Good night, little sister. Que Dios te bendiga.
Hello? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to startle you.
Nor are you. I could not sleep.
Yeah, me either. Please sit down. You look real pretty. In that shawl, I mean.
So nice of your father to give your mother's clothes to me.
Well, she would have wanted you to have them.
Isabella, go back in the house.
But Carlos...
Do as I say. Now. Alan, please. Do not be offended by what I am about to say. You must never be alone with my sister, under any circumstance.
You're joking.
No, I am quite serious. It is very simple, Adam. In a Mexican culture, a young woman's honor is so important that there must never be any question of it. Because if there is, no respectable man will ever wed her.
Morning, Tess.
Morning, Adam. Suppose you come for that girl's horse.
That's right. Isabella's.
Adam, there's something I think you ought to see.
That's a U.S. Army brand.
I saw it when Jorge unsaddled the horse.
Well, how would Carlos's sister get an American Army horse?
That's what I'd like to know. Jorge showed me, too. This Mexican boy you're looking for killed an army colonel.
And he took his horse, too. And he's no boy, he's a murderer. Tracked him all the way up from the Rio Grande when I catch him. I mean to hang him.
Well, I don't know anything about any boy, murder or not. But I might know something about the horse he stole.
You can't just come in here like...
I can, and I have. I'm the law boy.
Margaret, what's going on here?
I'm sorry, Ben. He just barged right on into the barn.
Who is he?
Marshal Jake Collier. He's here because an American officer's been murdered.
I understand you're harboring a Mexican girl who might have had something to do with it.
Not necessarily.
Ben, she's got that officer's horse.
Could be a lot of possible explanations for that, Margaret.
Name one.
Someone might have given her the horse without her knowing it was stolen.
So she could ride all the way up here alone?
Where is the girl?
Up at the house. Ha, it's all right, Adam. Marshal Collier is just going to ask her a few routine questions. Right?
For now.
It will not be forever, little sister. I was saved on one day by back our rancho. Isabella, are you listening to me?
Isabella, there's something...
Isabella, whatever you're afraid of, running away from it won't help.
What were you running for if you ain't guilty?
What Mexican wouldn't run if he saw a white lawman heading towards them? Hmm?
All right, girl. You rode in on Dead Man's horse. You must know something about the murder.
I know nothing about a murder.
You know what I think? I think you're hiding something. And I'll bet it's the greaser that killed that colonel. Now where is he?
That was one question too many, Marshal.
And be careful about those accusations you make, unless you have something to back them up.
Carlos, take Isabella to her room and see that she is not disturbed. Now.
Come, sister.
You better pack your bag, senorita, because you'll be coming with me.
Where is she going?
Carlos! Marshal Collier!
Marshal Collier, I was hoping we could discuss this.
You best not try to obstruct the law, Cartwright.
As far as I know, no law has been broken yet, except for the one about not trespassing on a man's property without his permission.
This here says I can do whatever's necessary to bring in a murder suspect.
But I don't see a woman on that wanted poster.
Now, I'd say until you have a lot more evidence, she has every right to stay right where she is.
An American colonel has been murdered, Cartwright. Somebody's coming back to Texas with me.
All right. I'll leave her in your custody for the time being, but I'm taking a horse as evidence. So if she runs off, well, you made the deal.
You have my word.
Ben, you don't know a thing about this girl except what her brother has told you, and here you are sticking your neck out for her.
Carlos is like a son to me. I don't believe he'd lie.
Maybe not, but he has no idea what his sister's been up to since his uncle's house burned down.
Oh, Margaret.
Ben, you and I both know that a girl like that couldn't have got all the way up here from Mexico without somebody's help. And what if that somebody was a man like Joaquin Murrieta, or even Murrieta himself? We both know he'd have no more problem killing an American officer than he would a fly.
I seriously doubt that's the case, but I will talk to her.
Collier has agreed to let you stay here while he completes his investigation.
And when he's finished, what then?
Since Isabella's innocent, there's nothing to worry about.
Isabelita, are you sure there is nothing you want to tell us?
There is nothing.
Isabella, what about the army horse?
I have done nothing wrong, Senor Cartwright.
I believe you.
Carlos, please. No more questions.
Hey, Carlos.
What's wrong with him?
Good question.
Por favor.
You know, it ain't none of my business, but you'd probably save yourself a few dollars if you bought the whole bottle.
Your surf greaser's here.
Why wouldn't I? At least he don't stink.
How about you a drink?
Well, don't mind if I do.
Gracias. Salud.
So I hear your sister rode in from Mexico.
Told you that.
Marshall from Texas. Goes by the name of Collier. He's been in here showing a wanted post around. She didn't have nothing to do with that murder, did she?
Of course not.
Good. Because the only woman they ever hanged in these parts was a Mexican woman.
What did they hang her for?
Killing a white man. It never mattered why.
Isabella? Isabella? Isabella, I'm looking for Carlos.
You could buy 3 horses for that much money.
Ben, I took food and supplies as well. I heard the story today about a Mexican lady called Josefa. She used to live in Downeyville. Have you heard of this lady?
I can't say I have. Who is she?
You mean who was she? Josefa killed a white man who broke into her home.
It sounds like it was self-defense.
Not according to the people in Downeyville, Ben. They hanged her the next day.
Isabella, I understand how frightened you are. And certainly you have cause to be, but are you sure running like this is the answer?
Please, Ben, if that marshal is able to convince people Isabella had anything to do with that soldier's death, they will hang her. Whether she is guilty or not.
Carlos, we must leave now.
So you can both be hunted down like animals? Is that what you want, Isabella?
What I want is to stay alive.
And live like a fugitive? An outlaw? You say you've done nothing wrong. Wouldn't it be better to stay and prove that? To clear your name and be free of all this?
Senor Cartwright, if you can tell me you have seen a Mexican get justice in American court, even once, I will stay.
Let's go, Isabella.
You told Collier what?
That I would take full responsibility for all of Isabella's actions if she fled. What? That was his condition for letting her stay with us, and since I didn't think she would be safe in his custody, I agreed to it.
Why turn yourself in? I mean, it seems to me that if he was going to charge her with something, he would have done it already.
Collier said that if she did flee, he would take that as an admission of guilt.
But what's he accusing her of?
When we talked, he hadn't decided yet.
But when he does, they might try you with it.
I doubt it'll come to that, Adam. But even if it does, I believe they will go far easier on me than they ever will on her.
And if they don't, what do we do?
Yeah, Pa. What about us?
I gave Collier my word. Now, you're old enough to understand that. In fact, you're practically men now, so I'm counting on all of you to take care of things until I get back. Especially you, little Joe. Do I have your word on that?
Yes, Pa. Yes, Pa.
Good. I love you.
I love you too.
Growing late, sister. We will make camp here.
No, we will have to go much further before we are safe.
But you must be so tired, little sister. And the horses?
I'm fine, Carlos. As for the horses, we will stop when they need to, not before.
Usually lie?
Yes, please, Shelley.
One sarsaparilla coming up. Ruth don't let you out much, does she?
It is not a question of me being let out. It is merely that sometimes...
Well, here's another that don't get out much.
And good evening. Would you care to play a game of cards with us?
I thought I'd find you here.
The girl ran off, did she? Figured she would. Who is this girl?
Mexican girl. Carlos' sister. You know, the one he's been asking about.
So what's Ben want with him?
The real question is, what does he want with Ben?
Fool told me if she ran, he'd take her place.
Now he's got to pay the piper.
What is he to be charged with?
Accessory to murder.
Once he gets to Texas, he'll hang for it too. Don't do it!
But we promised Pa we'd take care of things here. We gave him our word.
But who knows what they might charge him with? Besides, you know how Carlos feels about Pa. If you were him, wouldn't you want to know? Wouldn't you feel you even had the right to know?
It was a damn fool thing for him to do.
He must have had a good reason.
Course he did. Think she's innocent.
Well, innocent or not, this Collier says that he's going to take Ben to Texas first thing in the morning.
Extradited for a crime he did not commit. Such injustice
probably ain't even legal.
The question is, what can we do about it?
Well, perhaps I should have a private conversation with this marshal.
A bribe? No, he ain't the type.
Maybe we can break Ben out.
That's for sure not legal.
I'm getting the circuit court judge.
He is the reason they call a neighboring village Hangtown.
Well, he didn't hang Pritchett. Besides, he may be our only chance. Oh, look, I know it ain't much of a plan, but at least it'll buy us some time.
How did you catch up with us?
We rode all night.
Well, I hope you did not come here to try to stop us. We have to leave. Isabella's life may depend on it.
So could Pa's if you go.
What do you mean?
Pa told the marshal he'd take your place if you ran, so he'd let you stay with us.
I did not know.
Neither did we.
Carlos, we have to go back.
Isabella, I know you. You could not murder anyone.
You are right. I could not murder anyone. But I did kill that officer.
You killed him? But why?
Because he left me no choice. I told you I had to kill him. And that is all I wish to say about the matter.
I'm afraid Collier's gonna want to know a whole lot more about it than that.
So's that Texas jury you'll have to face.
A jury? What makes you think I will live long enough to face one?
Isabella will not let you do this. You are all that I have left in the world.
I'm sorry, Carlos, but I will not let a man hang for something I have done, no matter how justified it was.
What the heck you folks think you're doing?
Well, we are creating a diversion.
And stopping you from leaving, too.
Just until the judge arrives.
Come to turn yourself in, huh?
Yes, I have.
Brave girl. I'll tell you what. You turn in that greaser friend of yours that killed the colonel, I'll set you free.
It was me. I killed that colonel.
Carlos, no! He has nothing to do with it. I killed him. You must believe me.
Oh, please, what sister would not say such a thing to protect her brother?
Marshal Collier, please. Carlos had nothing to do with it. I beg of you, listen to me.
All right, I'm listening. Why'd you do it? Come on, I'm waiting. Just as I thought. No motive.
Wait. I did have a motive.
Spit it out, girl.
What was it? Some kind of lover's quarrel?
How dare you? As a woman of honor, my sister would die before she could.
You Mexicans got no honor. Especially your women. Well, citizens of Eagle Station, it's been a real pleasure.
Marshal Collier, you can't take Ben Cartwright. He's not guilty of anything.
Since the suspect's been staying at the Cartwright place, man, that makes him guilty of harboring a criminal.
Well, we'll see what the judge has to say about that. Marshal Collier, this is Judge Orson Rogers.
Well, Judge, I'd love to sit and jaw with you, but since I gotta extradite these two back to Texas, I'd best be on my way.
Well, Marshal, firstly, you ain't extraditing anybody anywhere. I'm a federal judge. I have authority over any alleged crimes committed in my jurisdiction. Now, second, you put that gun away, or I'll be charging you with threatening an officer of the U.S. courts. Court convenes in half an hour. Court's now in session. Well, Collier, let's hear it. What's your proof that either of these men did what you're accusing them of?
Well, this one confessed in front of darn near everybody here, and he admits to protecting him.
That's so, Cartwright?
Yes, Your Honor, but because I believe him to be entirely innocent.
And how do you explain his confession?
I believe he's protecting someone.
And who might that be?
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to say, Your Honor.
Well, somebody better get at liberty and get to say something around here, or my patience is going to wear thin.
Isabella, whatever it is, you have to explain what happened.
If I do, it will shame my brother.
And if you don't, he'll die.
Well, if nobody's gonna come forward...
Judge, as I already told Marshal Collier, it was I who killed that American officer.
Isabella, no. No.
You did, huh? Approach the bench, please.
Isabella, no.
Want to tell me about it?
Judge, after my uncle's hacienda in Mexico burned down, after the war, I still hoped that by some miracle my brother had survived and returned here to our former home.
Take your time.
Dressed as a boy, I set out from Mexico City. There were many hardships.
Isabella, I want you to pretend there's nobody else here. Just look into my eyes and tell me what happened.
There were many hardships. But then, an American colonel offered to help me. He seemed so kind and sincere.
Just me.
But...
Isabella, nobody could ever take your beauty or your innocence or your purity from you. No one.
Go on, young lady.
The first night we made camp,
Did he have his way with you?
yes, sir, he did.
All charges are dismissed. I've been watching people lie for too many years not to know the truth. Besides, I have a daughter.
Nothing can take a real lady's honor away, Isabella.
Carlos.
Senora Green.
You were right about those Texan Longhorns. They are tougher. My new Hereford bull died on the way here from Reno. Couldn't take the heat, I guess. And I was thinking, that Longhorn, well, he is partly yours and all, and I wondered if the Ponderosa and we might share him for a while.
That will be fine.
Isabella, I'm so sorry. And I wondered, well, I expect living at the Ponderosa with 6 fellas isn't much of a place for a young lady. And I wondered if you might want to come and stay with us for a while. In your old room, of course.
We'd love for you to, Isabella. Would you mind, Carlos?
Not if it is what you want, little sister.
Well, that's good.
You're quite a lady yourself, Margaret.
Thanks, Ben.